Bees Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan, the Don, in the building. Lot to get to on today's show. I want to tell you why the Chicago Bears should hit the ground running. They should be able to get off to a quick start in the 2024 season. Then we also got to talk about the 5 most important players to the Bears having playoff success. And I've got some names for you on some cut candidates coming into this season that I think are going to be very interesting. All that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. What's good, Ringo? How you feeling, my guy?
What's good, man? Just got back. Man, ready to talk these Bears, man. We got some interesting topics today, so I'm ready, bro.
Nothing like a hump day of Bears talk and Kendrick Lamar disses all throughout the timeline. Although the timeline is starting to go back to normal now. Now I'm starting to see like relationship quotes on there again. I'm starting to see ain't you mad when a woman do this, or aren't you sick of when a man does that? I mean, it's gonna be wild out here, bro.
It's about dang time.
There we go, and we're back, and we're here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Crimson in the building. Who else we got in here? Malik in this mug, man. Daniel in this mug. Sugar in this mug. Sugar Dub said Division I NCAA and fumbles will continue into the NFL. Oh, talking about Caleb Williams. Could be. You would hope that he would be able to get that under control. But we'll see. We'll see, man. We had a lot to talk about on today's show. Appreciate y'all tuning in and showing love. Let's start it off here. And I think that, right, even that comment there is a very interesting one to bring in when you talk about, okay, what were Caleb Williams' deficiencies in college, and how do you improve upon them as he gets into the NFL? Are things going to change? Blah, blah, blah. This is what makes this interesting to me, because so many people are looking at the Chicago Bears offense as why this team will be successful. So many people are looking at the Chicago Bears offense as why if the offense isn't clicking, this team cannot get off to a quick start. This team cannot get the job done. And I just don't believe that, because when I look at this Bears team, I expect to see some good things from the offense. I expect to see Caleb Williams be successful. I expect to see this offense start clicking pretty early on in the season. But why has everyone forgotten about the type of defense that the Bears had to finish out last season? Why has it been forgotten that the Chicago Bears finished the season number 1 in takeaways through 7 games? Why has it been forgotten that the Chicago Bears through 7 games were one of the defenses that allowed the least amount of touchdowns in those 7 games? And I say 7 games because that is when they added Montez Sweat, for those wondering. Why is it being looked upon as if this Chicago Bears defense is going to revert to being the defense of the first 7 or 10 games and not the last 7?
Yeah, I like I said, I don't understand it. I've been saying it basically the entire time since Caleb got here, and it was questions from the chat, and I've seen questions from other people about, when he goes against these big time defenses like San Fran or the Eagles or something like that. Well, what is he gonna do, bro? The numbers basically told you what the Bears defense did those 7 games of last season, and then you added other veteran pieces. Like even we talked about the underrated pickup. I think that happened was Byard. And everybody was like, he's washed. He was looking terrible with the Eagles. The Eagles didn't even know what they was running.
The Eagles were looking terrible with the Eagles, honestly.
Last year, they revamped the whole entire secondary. So it's like, if I have those stats that you just talked about with the whole scoring defense, the touchdowns and everything like that, you have to look at it and say, like, oh, this defense is probably going to improve, if not get better. And then basically, like I kept saying too, even on the Caleb front, you have to understand, if I'm going against this defense day in and day out in practice, week to week,
Your
By the
offense is going to
time
start to
I
get better.
get to the San Frans or the Detroits or the Baltimores or whoever that they come across,
Yeah.
hey, well, this guy isn't as bad as Tremaine Edmonds. I should be able to do this, and so on and so forth. So he's going
But
to.
see, that's the thing, right? Like we going into deep conversation on stuff of like, well, this could happen or this shit. Like what did happen? And that's my thing with this defense. What did
Yeah,
happen? And I get it, right? I see Crimson say because of week 18. You mean the week 18 where the Packers scored 17 points? Yeah, Jordan Love had 300 yards, 2 tutties. But they scored 17 points. If you can score like a regular offense, you're not worried about anything. You know what I'm saying? If you can score like a regular offense, and I think that's the thing. This is going to be a defense that allows time for this offense to grow. This
right.
is going to be a defense that allows time for this offense to get its foothold on this season. I think that's the part where a lot of people, like for me, the reason that the Chicago Bears should be able to hit the ground running, and let me go back and look at this real quick, pull this up here. This is the Bears' opponents this season that offensively we should absolutely be 110% concerned about. San Francisco 49ers, you've got the Lions twice. Those are 2 really good offenses, but the Bears do a pretty good job versus the Lions. But you got the Lions twice, and you got the Packers. And Houston. I had Houston in there. So you've got San Francisco, you've got Houston, you've got the Lions, you've got the Packers. The other offenses that you face this season, the Vikings, who the quarterback situation is very similar there that is going to be here. We'll see kind of what that's going to end up being. But having the defense that the Bears have, I'm not as
Absolutely.
concerned about that, right?
Yeah.
You got, I guess, should we add the Rams? Rams, yes, maybe, kind of.
For offense, yeah, offense, yeah,
But like that
yeah.
quarterback position is getting a little sketchy. Stafford's agent on us.
Yeah, Stafford's agent.
Stafford's agent on us. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Stinson Bennett is gonna be
That's not. That's.
the
I'm worried about
the
Stafford
one.
and Stafford
Yeah,
alone. Are
yeah.
we still where we are on Stafford? Yeah, I mean, is Stafford still high on that? Outside of that, though, right? Okay, maybe we throw the Rams in there, but the Cardinals, the Titans. Listen, I don't care how many wide receivers they add. I'm not that high on Will Levis.
Hey, we not,
Now,
hey,
1 year to the next
let's
is a
be real.
change.
Let's be real. We not high on Will Levis because this man out here putting mayonnaise in his coffee. But yeah, bro.
Anybody else saw that? I didn't see that.
He put mayonnaise in his coffee, bro.
I didn't see that.
I'm
He's
gonna
putting
have to,
mayonnaise in the
yeah,
coffee.
bro. Yeah, bro. He weird,
He's a
bro.
wild boy. He's a wild boy. Stafford is aging, but you still got to worry about Sean McVay. That's a great point. That's a great point. You know what I mean? I'll agree with that. I think that McVay schemes up a scheme very well. But I say all that to say, even with the good ones, even with, right, like throw the Packers in there, even if you're talking about the Lions, if you're talking about San Francisco may be a little bit tougher. If you're talking about the Rams, which team on here that I just named that I said probably has a pretty good offense, do we think the Bears can't cover? Which team on here do we think the Bears don't have the defense to go out there and get after? The only thing that we continue to say about this Chicago Bears team is they don't get after the quarterback enough, 110%. But they did get after the quarterback at a higher pressure rate. They did create more pressure when Montez Sweat was here because Montez Sweat spent a lot of time around the quarterback, which forced turnovers, which forced you, right? Like those interceptions didn't just magically appear. The interceptions come from Montez Sweat bringing pressure, from having DeMarcus Walker work well with him. If you end up going out there and re-signing Yannick Ngakoue, from having Yannick Ngakoue be able to go out there and work well with him as well. Again, this is a bone issue for Yannick. This is not a ligament issue. This is not he's out here with a torn ACL and stuff like that. If you can get Yannick Ngakoue here $6-7 million coming off an injury, absolutely. And I think now, right, he's got to be looking at this team and saying, yeah, I may be able to go make money somewhere else, but where else can I win?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, and that was my whole point the other day when we were talking about the trade situation. It's kind of like, dude, like, yeah, these other teams are paying you like X amount of dollars, but if you know that you only got multiple chances at going to get a ring, you gonna stay here, you gonna go somewhere
I
else.
mean, listen, if somebody who's competing for a ring offers them some money, I'm not sitting here telling you the Bears are competing for a ring. That is not the point of me saying this. My point in saying all of this is that I believe that the Chicago Bears should be able to hit the ground running. I believe that the Chicago Bears should be able to start this season off moving in the right direction. I think that you should start off this season looking at a Bears team because of the and here's the thing. Defense is always ahead of the offense. When you get the training camp, what do we always say? Well, you know, the defense, they because it's really just going after the quarterback, they're ahead of the offense. I expect the offense to be trying to catch up. It's a brand new offense. It's a brand new quarterback. You're adding brand new wide receivers into this.
Yeah.
That's going to take time. A lot of teams start off with their defense ahead of their offense. My point in all of this is, okay, if our defense is ahead of our offense, how good is our defense? And can they hold us? Can they hold certain teams under wraps to the point where you say the defense was good enough for you to put up 17, 18 points?
I think the Bears are capable of doing that, especially if you if you bring back Yannick on the type of money you just talked about, that absolutely I think that'll right the ship until you could possibly get a Austin Booker in there next year. But yeah, they have the capability where it's like now to the point, if I put up 20, if I put up 17. Like I'm good enough to be up there with a
just a quick cut in here. Over 100 in the chat.
100,
nah.
Well, yeah, no, I think they'll be good enough to be in that conversation of, oh well, we did this last season, so we can carry it into this season, and then on top of that, they'll be in the conversation with the Clevelands, the Baltimores, the San Frans, because all of the offenses you just named. I want to say really besides maybe San Fran, because Shanahan is that nice. I can see the Bears like the Bears like stopping them.
So here's the thing, right? Two of the offenses I named we played last season. Now listen, year by year things change, 100%.
Oh, absolutely,
right? But two
yeah.
offenses we played. This is how this is basically how the Bears last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games of the season with. So I was saying through 7, so I didn't even go back far enough. Yannick's first game was 9 games, so he played 9 games with the Bears because I believe his first game was that Saints game, if I'm not mistaken. The Saints scored 24 and beat the Bears. They scored 24 points. The Panthers scored 13. The Lions scored 31, but remember, that's that first game against the Lions where the Bears basically dog walked them defensively the entire game until Flus pulled the reins off, and all of a sudden, here come the Lions, 31-26. That's the highest score that the Bears gave up the rest of the season. After that, 12-10, 28-13, they beat the Lions. They gave up 13 points to the Detroit Lions, 20-17, in a game versus the Browns that, why are you throwing the football 40 times? 27-16, Bears win that over the Cardinals. 37-17, Bears win that over the Falcons. 17-9, Bears lose that to the Packers. But 17, 20. Like that. My point in all of this is that you have a defense right now that allows you the chance, that affords you the opportunity to have the offense that you're sitting on right now, to have an offense that is a young offense, to have an offense that is still trying to get itself and figure out where it's going. Okay, how's Caleb gonna acclimate himself? Now listen, if he has a Pat Mahomes situation, very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he has a Pat Mahomes where he hits the ground running, he's throwing 400. All right, here we go. Yeah. Right now, that's a whole different story. But I think the thing is, like, it almost sounds like, and it seems like with a lot of Bears fans, the expectation for this team is to take a little bit of a step back. Like, we almost don't trust what we saw last season. I will say this. I think that's on Matt Eberflus because of the PTSD from last year, right? But we're not dealing with, you also have to talk about a lot of what went on at the beginning of last season. You also have to talk about a lot of what went on to get you to certain points with stuff like that, right? By the way, 116 in the building, hit that like button if you have not done so. All the likes do help us, man. 116 in the building, 17 likes on the video. Crazy work right now. Crazy work. Let's get that mug. Let's get that mug all the way up to 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes on that. But no, like, you have to look at the position that Flus was put in last year. See, as the season goes on, people forget about major things that happen. Our defensive coordinator got fired after week 3?
Yep.
Fired. He stepped away from the team. He got fired, right? Our defensive coordinator steps away. Matt Eberflus has to take over. We hire a guy who's basically the look ahead at games guy throughout the season. Your coach had to go through some major changes and take on responsibilities he did not expect to have to take on last season. That helps you start off a little bit slow. Now, realistically speaking, you also started off the season unprepared. I think that is on Flus. I think that is on where you can't have that. You can't have that you take 5 steps back, your team looks completely unprepared to start the season. And I agree with most fans on that. But I don't understand the expectation of the Bears. It's going to take a second. It's going to take a while for Caleb to figure this out. And so, temper your expectations on wins.
Yeah, nah.
But I see the defense. I see how we're able to take the football away. That puts brand new offenses in great positions. That puts brand new offenses in opportunities that, hey, we may not have everything figured out, but we can absolutely hand this football off and get you into the end zone real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you're absolutely right about that. And the thing that I would say too is this, like, much forget that they got Montez Sweat. Like, and now without, like, at the end of the day, Poles went out and got Flus. Pretty much, like, the defense is pretty much complete. We're arguing like apples to oranges.
I don't know if the defense is complete. I think you still have to go out there and
the only thing that I really think that we've been talking about this entire time with the defense is like, okay, who's gonna play opposite like Montez Sweat? Not saying that that's not big, but it's like,
but
dude,
you still got the same questions, right? You still got the questions on Javon Dexter. You've still got questions on Zach Pickens. You still got questions on the middle of that defensive line, and I think they're valid questions. But my point is, right, like, okay, those questions existed last year while we were being successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my point in all of it. Like, the questions are the question. I'm fine with it. We got these questions. This is how it is. This is what, but we had these questions last season. We had these questions the last 9 games of the year.
I just don't.
They were good, right?
I don't
like,
think
it's not like our schedule just jumped up and all of a sudden, like, the Bears don't have a dominant schedule this year. The Bears are playing in no order. We'll find out the schedule release coming soon, but they're playing the Lions, Green Bay, the Vikings, the Rams, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Niners, the Commanders, the Colts, the Texans, the Cardinals, and Green Bay.
Yeah, it's not really like the schedule. The schedule shouldn't be scary. There should be no reason why Flu shouldn't have a defense ready to go week 1. But the thing is too, I also believe with them having Montez Sweat there, like, he knows the responsibility. I mean, he even talked about it when he got interviewed. Like, we saw what this defense could be. But basically, like, when I got here, like, we saw what the defense could be when I got here. So I think that he's even looking as one of the leaders of that defense, him and Jalen Johnson, because now, hey, Jalen got paid. He got something to prove.
Yeah.
He knows that now. Those 2 guys on that defense, hey, we got a young offense, like you just stated. Now it's time, hey, we got to go show out. Like, we got to go hold down the fort, because now we trying to prove that we're up there with the San Frans, the Eagles, the Jets, the Baltimores, all those teams.
Yeah.
So I think that they got something to prove, and I think that also Flu's got something to prove. So I think they'll come together to get it done. The question is now, if they do, how long does it take, Caleb and the rest of those guys to get it together?
And that's the thing, right? It's like, listen, you can't go the whole season with Caleb behind the 8 ball. There does have to be some catch up. There does have to be some improvement from the beginning to the end. But I just, it's so funny to me that, like, we're almost conditioned to expect the failure because we watch so much of it. Listen,
so
we've
crazy.
watched so much
So
of it.
crazy.
I know why we expect it, right? I know why we sit there and look at this team and go, I don't know, like this is probably not going to go our way. I understand all of that, but to me, like you're talking about now a situation that almost no team has ever been in NFL history, getting the number one draft pick. You're absolutely talking about a situation that most teams have not. Most 7-win teams have not been in, which is going out and getting the number one pick in the draft, and that guy being the quarterback of your team. Oh, and on top of that, another wild situation where you've got 2 picks in the top 10 in the NFL draft, and how most people are slating it, you got 2 of the best picks that you can. You got a freaking wide receiver that everybody's like, yo, we don't have nobody like this in the league right now. Like this is a Randy Moss style receiver, and we don't have a guy like this in the league right now.
Right.
So you might have gotten, I keep saying this. This is Ryan Poles has done an excellent job at fleecing the Carolina Panthers and making the most of it. That's why this is so great. That's why I'm so excited about this team. That's why I'm so confident in this team. Because listen, in theory, the Bears fleeced or the Raiders fleeced us for Khalil Mack, right? In theory, you got a player who was definitely not as good as he was when he was in Oakland. They did nothing with none of the picks.
Okay,
The only one they got was Josh Jacobs, and he's not there anymore. They got Alex Leatherwood in that mug off of one of those picks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it comes down to me. When you sit there and you're looking at it, and you're like, okay, how is Ryan Poles going to capitalize off of all of this? I mean, for the most part, I think every pick from this Carolina trade has hit. Right? And there's still the second round pick next year. We don't know if he's going to trade that for a player in season. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think there's any chance that pick makes it to the draft on Chicago. I think we had a player probably mid-season with that second round pick from Carolina. But I'm excited because I'm seeing an organization doing things differently than we've ever seen it done before. And it's not just different to be different, it's different to make an impact.
But I think that's why Bears fans are like expecting the failure because you've never seen it. So you've had nothing, like you've never seen it. So you've had absolutely like nothing to go off.
There's just nothing to base it off of. That's what Bears fans are going through.
And Poles is literally like, nah, bro, like it's cool. I got it. Like it's just relax. Like it's okay. I have this. So now the pieces are in place. And it's like, okay, like we look real nice today.
We're so jaded in Chicago because everything is always too good to be true, right? 35 games of the Bulls. It was too good to be true. Lonzo Ball ain't got no kneecaps no more. Yeah, you know I mean, Justin Fields at 11. It seems like it was too good to be true. It never was able to put a team around him to make that work. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, man. Like it's every moment of Bears football where we're like, we are going to be excited. It does feel too good to be true, but I don't think that this one is too good to be true because the proof is in the pudding with players. The proof is in the pudding with guys like Montez Sweat. The proof is in the pudding with guys like, now, do I think you need depth at some of these positions? Absolutely. Yes. There are 5. Now I say this, and we can get into the next topic on this one, right? Because to me, there are 5 very important positions, the most important positions that need to be stout for the Chicago Bears to win. And I mean, 5, I would say players realistically. And all of this changes. To me, any moment in the NFL can change if an injury happens, especially on that defensive line or the offensive line. But I'm not sitting here telling you that, you know, if barring injury, the Bears are going to the Super Bowl. But I'm telling you that barring injury, the Bears can absolutely hit the ground running this season and be a real threat to make some noise in this NFL. But my 5 most important players for the Bears to have playoff level success, for the Bears to get to the playoffs and have some sort of success. Number 5 for me is Ryan Bates. They have lauded this guy as and hit that like button if you haven't done so, subscribe to the page. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. They has lauded this guy as the starting center for the Chicago Bears. I don't know if he can play center. Mug's sitting here telling me, "Oh, I've broken down these 150 snaps. This guy's phenomenal." I don't know if he can play center. I've seen it. I've watched it. I've gone through a lot of the tape. He looks good in the limited time that he's been utilized. But it's a difference between doing it for, I just need to spot start here, spot start there, spot play here, spot play there, versus every single week you're the guy. Every single week you're the guy that's setting things up. Oh, by the way, you're doing it with a rookie quarterback. So you got to build this rapport with this guy. So to me, my fifth most important player the Chicago Bears having playoff success this season, Ryan Bates. Number 4 for me is DJ Moore. DJ Moore, to me, has to continue to prove that he's the leader of this wide receiving core. Now, of course, Keenan Allen is going to be the vet. Keenan Allen is going to be the dog. I don't know how long Keenan Allen is going to be here. I don't want the wide receiver dynamic to shake up that much that we're sitting here talking about long-term. You got to hold on to Keenan Allen long-term because you didn't see somebody have the same season they had. I think DJ Moore is an absolute monster. And we're going to see that accentuated even more. I mean, listen, we heard him talking about Caleb Williams this year and working out with him. And I know it. I was a Justin guy, right? That's what everybody goes at me about. Oh, you wanted Justin Fields to be here. Listen, you can't, when you hear from the horse's mouth yet again, right? You got to take their word for it.
I mean, I think everybody did.
He keeps saying Caleb Williams is hitting him with the anticipatory throws like crazy. Every time I turn around, the ball's in my hands. Every time I turn around, the ball's right where I needed to be. I think that means that there's going to be a absolutely dominant season for DJ Moore here. So right now I'm starting off with Ryan Bates, DJ Moore, offensive line, your number 1 wide receiver, because I think if these guys are successful, it goes out to the rest of the line. If Ryan Bates is good, I'm not worried about the rest of the line as much. I'm still worried about Braxton Jones, but if that quarterback to center snap is perfect, I think the offense is fine. DJ Moore to me is the number 1 wide receiver. He's the guy that I think that Caleb Williams is going to have to rely on the most. I need that connection to be there early on as well. Yeah. Number 3 on the list, defensive line wise, Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat is so important because at least as of right now, there is no other option besides Montez Sweat. There is nobody on the edge that we fear besides Montez Sweat. Now, I hope that Austin Booker can become that level of player. I hope we see a resurgence of DeMarcus Walker. I hope we see, the Bears re-sign Yannick Ngakoue and you go out there and you got 2 dominant pass rushers on both ends. But right now, there's nobody else that I fear on this defensive line. That pressure is created from Yannick being an absolute monster. I think he is the 3rd most important player to the Bears having playoff success. Number 2 to me, and this might come as a surprise to a lot of people. I know people are going to be, well, it's got to be Keenan Allen. It's got to be Rome Odunze, one of the wide receivers, or maybe the running back. You got to have, or Cole Kmet, somebody on the offensive end. It's Jalen Johnson to me. This defense changed last season because Jalen Johnson started getting those takeaways. This defense changed last season because Montez Sweat's pressure was actually going towards the football going the other direction. I love that you got paid. I love that you were a dog, but you are still the leader of this defense, and this defense will go as far as you are able to take it. If all the picks and all of that stuff was just you getting your money, we're going to be in trouble defensively because I think that he is a very, very integral part of this defense. And then finally, I think number 1 is easy. I mean, there is no playoff success without Caleb Williams being exactly who we thought the quarterback was. There is no playoff success. There is no playoffs without Caleb Williams taking that step. And I think that this is a great setup for him to be able to do that. And to me, those are my 5. I think those are, what are your thoughts on the 5 players that I had there? I think that those are the guys that I look at and say, if they're successful, it goes out to everybody else on this team.
Yeah, I got honestly no problem with the 5. I actually thought the 5 was pretty spot on, especially because, bro, Bates, like there is so much of a difference, like you said, between like, okay, you need me to fill in, cool, take a couple snaps, all right, like this guy's missing this game here, this guy's missing this game here. I can fill in here. Now you're starting.
Right.
So it's like now what is that gonna look like? Because you don't really want to put yourself behind the A ball. So yeah, like I'm was definitely with you with him at 5. DJ Moore is cool. I like the DJ Moore pick. My thing is DJ is gonna be who DJ is. Even though I do think that he has to. The only reason why I was cool with him at where you put him at is because
4.
of this. I was cool with you putting him at 4 is because of the Keenan Allen point that you made. You don't know how long Keenan Allen's going to be here, even though we have said ad nauseum, right? That wide receiver room is probably one of the best in the league, if not up there. And Rome's going to have a chance to learn. He's going to have to be able to take that lead. And,
Whoa. Did Ringo mic just tweak for anybody else? Your mic sound like it just disappeared, my guy. You got it. Oh. We'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed in a second. Yeah, I mean, we'll get that fixed in a second. But no, I think my thing with the 5 guys that I've listed, the 5 guys that I've named, right, is that I just feel that they are, like I said, I think that their game permeates through everything. I think that their game it fits every facet of the offense and the defense. And if you don't see them take off, you got it? You good? No, you sound like you just, is that my headphones? Is that my headphones or is that Ringo? No, you sound like you just went into another dimension. Like Ringo halfway across the room was like, Ringo, you good? Ringo, hey, please. But I feel like realistically, right, speaking, these are the names of the guys that you look at and say, okay, if you have the ability, right, especially Jalen Johnson, especially Montez Sweat, if you guys get your units under wraps, if you guys get your units set perfectly to where we're all sitting here looking at, oh man, this Bears DB unit. That what more can you say about it? This Bears defensive line. What more can you say about it? Led by Montez Sweat. I mean, like those are the things that get you. Yeah, I'm gonna take Ringo off screen here a little bit while he get that mug. Try to fix that mug there. There we go. Those are the things that get you to the next level. Having those guys locked in place. Those are the things that get you, all right, here we go, right? Now I know where my team's ceiling is with these guys. And you're not always going to have that. You're not always going to see teams that have that at every position, but I believe the Chicago Bears do. I think that at every position on this team, the Chicago Bears legitimately, you're sitting there. Whoa, is that facts, Augustine? Is it Nikola Jokic has been named MVP, 3rd straight MVP? Is that facts? Let me look that up real quick. But I think that as I continue to talk Bears football, that one threw me off. That would be fire right there. Let me see. I got that on the phone. Denver's Nikola Jokic has won the 2023-2024 MVP, the 9th player ever to win league MVP 3 times. Nice. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, it's not 3 in a row, but it is 3. I'm not mad at that. That's pretty good. That's crazy. My guys are sitting here going crazy. They said Shea got robbed. I don't think Shea got robbed. Jokic is unstoppable. But no. Getting back to Bears football. Those are, like I said, those are my 5. Those are the guys that I look at the most and say, if you're able to get this done, they have to be there. There's no other option. There's no other answer. There's nobody else that I look at on this team, and I feel that way about. I don't feel like Keenan Allen has to be the Keenan Allen of the past because you went and got Rome Odunze and you expect him to get a lot of love there as well. I don't think that, right? Like there's nobody on that defensive line. You know what? I'll give an honorable mention to one maybe on the defensive line. I would say that Gervon Dexter, if I was to make this 6, Gervon Dexter has to be good. Now, I think Montez Sweat being good makes his life a heck of a lot easier. But without getting that pressure up the middle, I think that there's a lot of it's going to make things a lot tougher for the Chicago Bears if you're not able to get that pressure up the middle. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. We're going to keep this thing moving along. See if we can get Ringo back in here. I don't know. He having some serious technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on over there, man. But, oh, yeah, we might as well show it off. Might as well show the graphic off. Graphic game. Here's my five most important Bears. 5 Ryan Bates, 4 DJ Moore, 3 Montez Sweat, 2 Jalen Johnson, 1 Caleb Williams. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below about the 5 most important Bears to this Chicago Bears season. We're going to keep this thing moving along, man. I want to talk about some of the people that are cut candidates on this team. There's going to be some interesting names as far as cut candidates on this team. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back right after this. Producer Joe Holt,
and we want to party with you. That's right. Come celebrate with us for our 30K party at Logan 11, May 11th at 8 p.m.
I do talk about it. Yeah, pull up on us. $20 gets you in 1 drink. A lot of drinks. Let's have some fun. Got a lot going on that night. What are we doing?
Come hang with us. We'll talk some Bears, maybe some Bulls, maybe some White Sox.
You ain't watching White Sox.
Yeah, you're darn right. So, hey, look, grab your tickets, and the link is in the description below. So come hang out with us and see the whole crew. That's JC. We got Calvin. We got Super Producer, myself, and we got Pat, and we got Ringo.
We forgot Kid.
And we got Kid. Don't forget Kid. Let's go.
We always forget Kid. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Ringo says he's back. Let's see if we can hear old Ringo. Ringo, what's good?
Yo.
Oh, welcome back. You sound less underwater, my guy.
Bro, I had to leave the whole thing, and then
we gotta get you a roadcaster, man. You still rocking with that old school John. Yeah, I mean, you still rocking with that old school John. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I don't know if you heard this while we were out, but Jokic, 3 MVPs in 4 years. Oh, Mike's gone again. Oh boy. Oh, Ringo. Michael said, just got here, Pat. Put some clothes on. Let's keep it PG. I got a tank on, dog. Relax. I got a tank on. I was doing some work around the house. Yeah, I mean, trying to get some stuff done. There's nothing wrong with a good tank. I sound like I hear you. Say something now.
Yo.
Yeah, there you go. All right, don't breathe. Nobody move. You know what I mean?
Oh man, bro, that's a robbery. I mean,
what? Bro, a robbery?
No, because bro, when we made our picks for MVP and all of that,
I had Jokic.
I said that OKC's coach was gonna get it, and I don't understand. Like, this dude has 40, 30-point games. They're pretty much tops in the West that entire time. And then it's I don't know. I don't know.
I think let's be real. Let's be 100 on this. This is not a surprise.
Nah, it's a little bit shocking. Nah, bro. It's a little bit of a surprise.
How did you think? Right? Let's just go storyline on this. How did we realistically think that the defending NBA champion, who came out and had still a ridiculously dominant season this season, who was still getting triple doubles every night, who literally, there's not really any center in the league that has really been able to slow him down, who finished this season averaging 26, 12, How did we think he was not going to get? By the way, which is better than what he did last season to win MVP. He improved.
All I'm saying is, you got 30 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block a game. A block a game, bro. And this is at the guard position. Like the streak of 30-point games, and I had my team up in the West the entire time. You was at 5 and got to what 3-2? Like I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm like shout out to him, but Shea was really Shea was really on his big one this year. So I think he got robbed.
I think you just wanted Shea to get that money. I don't know about that. Hey, let's finish it off with a little bit of Bears, man. We got a little bit more to get into on this show. Who could be the cut candidates this season? Who could be cut candidates for the Chicago Bears heading into this training camp? I mean, listen, I've got a list of names here that I think there's some obvious names on this list that I do not expect to see back on the Chicago Bears. I think it starts here, dog. Larry Borum. It's tough.
Oh, absolutely.
Larry Borum. Hey, you appreciate everything you've done for me. But we're moving on. We got another guy later on. Jatir Carter, I think, is also a name as well. He might stick around if you want some depth there, and you got a little more youth on that one. But here's some of the interesting names that I think end up getting moved on for the Chicago Bears. I think Velus Jones is absolutely a cut candidate this season.
He was one last season to me.
I think that every single year you go in with this young man, you could look at Velus Jones as a cut candidate. I think that he is somebody who is... at this point, when I heard it's going to be hard to make this team from Ryan Poles, I literally was just like, Velus. Right? Last year, you had DJ Moore, but you really didn't have much else. And you weren't really using anybody else, but you really just didn't have much else at a wide receiver position. You thought you did, but right, Chase Claypool ends up throwing some bands. He gets the heck up out of here. Right? You get freaking Darnell Mooney doesn't have the season that you'd hoped he'd have. Right? So it was DJ Moore and it was the rest of the boys. It was Cole Kmet. So you end up keeping Velus as like a gadget wide receiver, whatever that was, right? The only thing that may save Velus, the only thing, is the new return rules. It's the only thing that may save him. But like, I can't. I don't know what his role is on this team. I don't think in year 4 he figures out how to become an elite wide receiver.
He got them receipts. He got them receipts. Them receipts that we looking for.
He got on people, bro. He got naked pictures on somebody.
He got.
I'm telling you, bro.
He got receipts on somebody.
I don't know what it is.
My thing is, can you just hold on to the football?
Now he gets more of an opportunity to do that with the kickoff.
Like, just hold on to the football, because I think that's primarily.
Here's the tough part about that, right? I still got 5 other guys that can return kicks. So the only thing we're keeping you for sure, yeah. Realistically, the only thing that we're keeping you for is to return kicks, right? That's the only thing that we think Velus Jones is going to do. The only thing that we're keeping you for is the return kicks. I got Dante Pettis. I got Tyler Scott. I got Kari Blasingame still on the team. I got I guess if you want, I got Khalil Herbert, who absolutely can do it. I got how many names do we need to go down of guys that just can return kicks? Heck, Tyreek Stevenson returned kicks in college. Jaquan Brisker returned kicks in college. Who else we got? Roma Dunze, the young man you just got, return kicks in college. Like if all I'm keeping you for is to return kicks, do I really need you?
But see, and no, and that's the thing. I'm wondering now, like, if he even does stay on the team, like, are they trying to put him at a different position? Like, what's going on with that? Because when he first came in, I told you I was perplexed because I'm like, yo, Dante Pettis was on the roster. Like Dante Pettis been returning kicks. Like he turned kicks in college, and in the league when he got there. And then all of the names you just mentioned, like bro, that's 5-6 guys almost. So it's like my whole thing is now they gotta be putting him at a different position or something like that. It gotta be because he should have been going.
All right, listen. Yeah, I'm done with the Velus Jones experiment. You know what other experiment I'm done with? The Dominique Robinson experiment. We can let that go.
Yeah,
we can let that go. Heck, he can return punts. Yeah, I mean, like he can let that go. I don't need Dominique Robinson. I don't need to keep doing this experiment of, we're trying to turn the former quarterback into the turned defensive end into an NFL defensive end because of the intangibles and because of the first year of, or not even the first year, the first game of him figuring out Trent Williams lifts his foot every time he takes a step, and so he got to step on him. After that, we never heard from him again.
Bro,
I'm good. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Pablo said none of the guys you named would be ideal to return kicks. They're all needed in other areas, bro. People have always returned kicks that are needed in other areas. Devin Hester was our number one wide receiver, and we still had him returning kicks. That's sad to say that Devin Hester was our number one wide receiver. Well, he returned punts, I should say. He returned punts. He didn't return kickoffs as much.
Pablo, Pettis was returning in college. Pettis was returning in college. That was my whole. He was returning in college.
I mean, let's be real. He's a return guy. He's not really a wide receiver.
He returned when he got to San Fran. Who?
Dante Pettis. He's more.
For sure, for sure.
I don't see him as anything else but a return guy. I think that, but no, we've seen players. Heck, freaking why can't I think of his name from Philly back with Vic? The wide receiver. D-Jax. D-Jax, one of the nastiest return men in NFL history. He was also a major part of their offense.
Yeah.
Like we see people do that all the time. You know what I mean?
If I'm not mistaken, didn't
most times people didn't want to pay an extra guy just to return kicks. Usually they were like, we'll get a dude that's fast, but like he's also gonna do something else.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't DJ back there like twice?
DJ Moore can return kicks. I don't know if he was back there this season, but he definitely can return kicks. I wouldn't want to see DJ back there.
Oh yeah, no.
But a guy a guy like Brisk, a guy like Reek, a guy Terrell Smith. I bet you Terrell Smith can do some of them. Yeah, I mean, like, I bet you Terrell Smith can absolutely do some of them.
Probably. I mean,
so I there's a lot of dudes on this team that can return kicks. My point in all of that is I don't need to see Muggs out here returning kicks. Who else did I have on my cut list? Oh, I got an interesting one. I've got a very, very interesting one, and it depends on what you do financially with maybe bringing some guys in. If you don't trade him, I think that Khalil Herbert could be a cut candidate. I know that people here love Khalil Herbert. I know that we love our running backs here in the city of Chicago. I know that we sit there and look at the running backs on this team like there's a guy saying, I don't need 3 running backs. And if I do need 3 running backs, I can bring back a 3rd running back. We did this last year. We remember that? Like, we remember when we were down all of our running backs? And then we brought in, was it Treston? Was it Treston Ebner? Wasn't Treston Ebner? Was it Treston Ebner?
Yeah.
That we brought him in?
Because you were gonna do Homer. But
Travis Homer got hurt. Oh, by the way, Travis Homer can return kicks.
Yeah.
By the way, just in case we were
Travis Homer is a special team dude.
I think I'm not saying that he's the first guy on the list. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I'm sitting there like I'm starting the list. All right, let's get guys out of here. Khalil Herbert.
You know what though?
But I don't feel like there is this overwhelming need for a 3 running back system. Mm-hmm. And seeing as how you just went out and you paid DeAndre Swift and you drafted, there was Darrington Evans. Shout out Katie, Darrington Evans. I was gonna say I didn't think it was Treston Ebner. Darrington Evans. is who we brought back. And Darrison Evans came back, had a pretty freaking good game. He came back and had a pretty freaking good game.
This is true.
But I got the Roshan Johnson in the building as the guy that I believe is going to be the 3-down back on this team. Nobody's confusing Khalil Herbert with a 3-down back. If we're talking about a change of pace back, like a speed back, that's DeAndre Swift. I'm being real. Take last season, what he did, what he's done for this team out of it. What does Khalil Herbert add to this team that it doesn't already have?
I think he's just I think he's probably gonna get cut based off of.
Well, I don't think they want to cut him.
Once everything gets started, depending on how Roshan looks, he's out of there. Plus you gotta remember too. They ran a 2-back. It was basically 2 backs in Seattle anyway. So,
but I think that's my thing, right? Like when I look at this team, I'm sitting there saying more times than not, right? I get we love this 3-back system. Somebody's sitting down and not doing anything. That's what's going to happen. I see some of you guys in the chat as well. I think Herbert is better than Swift personally. Crimson said that. Somebody's Knowledge Untamed said Swift is a bum. Sorry. Hey, I hate to tell you this. Swift is making $7 million. He's getting the football.
Yeah.
There's no question about DeAndre Swift. Absolutely.
You're gonna cut the number 1 running back 2 years ago, make $250K a year on a rookie deal.
I mean, he's making more than $250K, but yeah, I'm fine with that.
I was gonna say, and my thing is, it's like they all.
I don't sit here and overvalue seeing guys all do the same thing. I just don't. I don't overvalue having 3 running backs on the team that all do the same thing. Who's the one running back on this team that seems like he might be a 3-down back? Because it ain't DeAndre Swift because he don't block.
It's just Roshan. Because Swift don't block. Swift don't block. But
Swift is a pass catching running back. Yeah. That's why he's here.
But that's
he's a pass catching running back.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Like at the end of the day, everybody believes in Roshan. Everybody believes in Roshan. They're high on Roshan, and I think at the end of the day, like when it's all said and done, once everything gets started and it jumps off, depending on the lead that Roshan takes, Khalil's out of here. Thank you for playing the work version of our game.
Now, I think that you would rather trade Khalil. I'm not saying that you want to cut him.
Oh, yeah, talk to Dallas.
I'm not saying that you want to just get rid of him for no reason. I'm not saying get rid of him just to get rid of him. I'm saying if you're sitting there going through your list of the 53 guys that are going to make this roster, and you say, what do we have over here that we don't have over here that we have to keep? And I'm sitting there and I get to the running back room and I see Travis Homer and I see Kari Blasingame as the fullback, right? And I see Roshan Johnson, I see DeAndre Swift, and I see Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert don't make the cut to me because I got Roshan Johnson, who I think can do more than he can. Maybe he's not as fast as he is, but I think that he can do more than he can. And I see DeAndre Swift, who's basically coming here to do his job. And I get, like, if you believe that Herbert is better than Swift, fine. You shouldn't have paid $7 million to DeAndre Swift. Like, fine, listen, I hear you. But DeAndre Swift has $7 million. So guess what he's getting?
The ball.
The football.
The football.
And by the way, I'm not losing my mind either over $1 million running back. I'm not losing my mind over a dude that I can go get again in the draft next season. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not tripping on. He's here. I didn't want you to go out and pay a running back, but now we got too many that we're paying.
Hey, and this coming from the dude he don't like running backs.
Listen, I can't change what you spent money on. You spent money on a running back. The running back's here.
Yep.
He better get the football a lot.
Well, I mean,
he better get the football a heck of a lot.
I hope he do.
Oh, $7 million. He better be touching this football once out of every 5 plays on the offense. I'm just saying, bro. Like I would not be surprised if we get into the season and we're sitting there looking through some of the names on this team and we say, oh, he's probably not going to make it. And I know people aren't going to like it right now, but hey, let's. I think that's probably the biggest name for a cut candidate that the Bears have right now. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Appreciate you guys. And I'm saying biggest, not like he's the most likely to get cut. I'm saying the biggest name, the biggest use on this team that could get cut. Let me know how you guys feel. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Larry Borum's definitely on the list as well. This is why y'all not the GM. Cut Herbert on a rookie 6-round deal. Keep Homer at $2 million unguaranteed.
They paid Swift already, bro.
I mean, I don't see the redundancy of it. Like I love
Swift getting 7 M's. Somebody gonna be out.
I love the redundancy of it. You know what I mean? Like let's just keep running the same type of running backs out there. It is what it is. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. We'll be back at it again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in with us for all the clips that drop on the channel as well. Appreciate y'all for showing love. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. For Stefan, the Dynaman, formerly known as Ringo J. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again.